here. Just look at Psalm 1 for a minute. Just a couple of quick thoughts. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. The ungodly are not so. They are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Seems to me the psalmist starts this book of many moods by showing that true happiness comes from paying attention to God and his word. Now, if one listens to the ungodly, spends their time delving into what they're saying, those who say there is no God, they spend inordinate amounts of energy and time fighting the God they don't believe in, then as a believer you tend to become unhappy, unfulfilled, unfruitful. Verse 2 notes that the blessed man delights in the law of the Lord. What is that? Paul said in 1 Corinthians 2, I determined to know nothing among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified. No, Jesus boiled the delighting of the law down to two succinct commands. Love the Lord your God with your whole heart and love your neighbor as yourself. He wants us to think about that, not what the scornful is saying. Verse 3 says that the one who sinks their roots deep into the living water will flourish. Remember in John 4, Jesus is discoursing with that woman at the well, and the subject comes up about water, of course. And Jesus said, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that says to you, give me to drink, you would have asked of him, and he would have given you living water. And then down further he says, whoever drinks the water from this well will thirst again, but whoever drinks the water I give him will never thirst. It'll flow up into a spring of everlasting life. With Jesus and his living water, we'll be healthy in spirit and fruitful and not shrivel up inside. We'll be like trees planted by the river and fruitful. And then verses 4 to the end is a contrast with a happy man with the ungodly. There's always bad news in order for the good news to be good news. You know, bad news is, even though they don't think so, there are eternal consequences to unbelief. Look, this is not a place for you and I to point fingers, but rather I think a place for us to pray. God is the only one who knows the hearts of a person. And it says here, the Lord knows the way of the righteous, and by implication, he knows the way of the unrighteous as well. They will perish. Judgment is in view here when he returns. And Jesus died so we and they would not have to face that. Some choose to receive it, to repent and believe. Others choose not to. Our job is to demonstrate the love-filled life and declare the love-filled gospel of Jesus Christ. In other words, are you one of the blessed ones? Share that around. Pastor Steve.